Hi guys, this is going to be a review of my Cyma CM521C. First of all, I've changed some parts on the gun. The pistol grip, added a foregrip, thumb rest, a sight, and the mag release. First of all, let's go over metal parts. Plastic, metal outer barrel, rails are all plastic, upper body's plastic, dust cover's plastic, shotgun is plastic, receiver's plastic, selector switch is metal, trigger's metal, the normal mag release is plastic, mine broke unfortunately, so I have to replace it. Pistol grip, this is not the normal one, the original one is very plasticky and feels like crap, I feel like it's going to snap in your hand. Metal sling point, the retractable stock, buffer tube is plastic, stock is plastic, metal sling point, no, plastic sling point. First of all, I don't want to use the stock. You can change it with a normal, like a metal M4 buffer tube stock if you want it, because it's the same. You can just screw it on here, so you can put on pretty much most M4 stocks. Let's move to the other side of the gun. We have a metal sling point, plastic sling point on the front sight. That's about it. So moving back to this side, the mount here, I find this sling point here is the strongest one. The metal point is actually quite thick and it's very sturdy. I probably wouldn't use this one. I definitely wouldn't use the one on the front sight because it's very thin and plastic. So I'd recommend using this sling point here. You can also take this bit off, but I wouldn't recommend it. There's like a little bit of metal that sticks out here, so you might as well just leave this bit on. That's what I do. Yeah, pretty much everything's plastic. Hookup unit's plastic, you know, flash eye's plastic. This is, I couldn't find the actual flash eye of this, but is this style, it's just plastic. It's a one piece rather than having the two separate pieces like the newer ones do. And one thing I do need to say is the threads for the gun are very bloody long. There we go. Quite long threads compared to most guns, which it's alright, it's just a bit annoying when you try and take things off in a hurry. Yeah, I've got a battery in here at the moment. This is a 7.4 LiPo. I've changed the internals of this to an Element max speed motor, a 14:1 gear set, a steel tooth piston, 15 steel tooth piston. I've changed the piston head, some of the compression parts, so it isn't how it would normally sound. It normally sounds like pretty much a standard Cyma. This is what it sounds like after those upgrades. On a 7.4 LiPo. Also, the select switch does go up a bit and flexes the dust cover, because also the dust cover's plastic as well. One thing I would like to note is the gearbox. I've taken it apart, which I've done in a separate video, and I've also taken apart the gearbox from my Cyma CM45. And the only real difference is that the gearbox shell on this gun is unfinished. It's gritty and silver, whereas on the 45 it's sanded and painted black. The wiring on this originally was really thin and bad, whereas the wiring on the other one is better. Apart from that, obviously it hasn't got a metal spring guide, it's got a plastic one, but most of the other parts are the same. Obviously you've got the plastic nozzles, the plastic cylinder heads, things like that, the same piston. Gears look identical, but I've noticed recently with this one and the CM45 is that the gears are no longer nice and silver, they're kind of gritty and brown. So it looks like they haven't really been, well, polished or like finished in any way. I'll show you what I mean quickly. So here I have two sector gears. I have one from a old Cyma and one from a new Cyma. This is from an old Cyma, either the 28 or the 47 I have, and this is from the new one. From either, I think it was either this one or the, yeah, it's from this one actually. So as you can see, the gears are not, they're the same gear, I mean, they look pretty much exactly the same. But this one's just dirty and, you know, it's not grease or anything, it actually is the metal, that is the colour of the metal, so yeah. Don't know if it's any, doubt it's any different in quality, it's just different in its appearance. So yeah, the gearbox is pretty much the same, apart from the things I've mentioned. I have changed the wiring. Originally the wires are up here at the front, which can make putting a battery in a little bit difficult, so I've decided to change it to Dean's and put it at the back here, as well as a little fuse. As you can see, that's where the shell is. You can see the finish on it, it's not shiny, it's kind of gritty. Obviously it's got the standard little plastic abomination of a charging handle kind of set assembly. Takes up a lot of space, kind of limits your batteries a little bit, so I couldn't fit an 11.1 that I have in here because there's not enough space, but I could fit it in my CM47 or CM45 because it hasn't got this plastic thing in the way, so I can put it in there, but I can't put it in here because the battery space is a little more limited. As I said, with the dust cover, it does have sights on it, which surprisingly flip. They are adjustable. You have two apertures, they're exactly the same. I've sanded one of them to make it a little bit bigger, but originally they're exactly the same. The whole dust cover kind of flexes. I mean, I doubt it's going to break, to be honest. Unless you drop it, it's probably not going to break. I found that it's a little more difficult to get this dust cover on than it is with most Cyma metals. It seems to catch slightly. Actually, where obviously the catch from the gearbox is it kind of doesn't go on smoothly, unlike most others. As you can see on the top row, I've attached a small T1 sight. That's kind of the sight I'd recommend putting on here, because anything bigger and it's going to look a bit silly. If you put like a holographic on, which I doubt you'd even be able to get fit on the rail, it would look ridiculous. So I've put on a T1 sight, and for a sight protector I have a holographic sight protector that I have chopped the bottom fin off and taped it, because a while ago one of my sights got shot out. Still works, but it got hit, so I decided to put that on there because I had a normal red dot sight which takes up more space and I couldn't fit a sight protector on, and I got hit. So now I've put on the smaller sight and got a little cover. Gun, when I got it, it actually fired at 380, which is obviously too hot. So I had to downgrade it before I could take it anywhere. Now it fires at about I think it's 285, 1.25, so that's about probably 330, 320. So it's quite decent for FPS now that I've changed it. The range is pretty good. It has a 247mm barrel. It normally comes out to about here, I think. But I've changed it to a 230, which was the only barrel I could get. I couldn't get a 247, and it's just about half a centimetre shy of the end of the cap. So I'd recommend changing the barrel. But the hop-up was actually alright out the box. I think the hop-up I've left the same, but I've just changed the barrel and obviously some of the gearbox parts. And the range is pretty good for a gun of its size. I mean, I've only got a short barrel, so it's nothing amazing. Although it's better than I'd expect. Overall, I'd recommend getting this gun for a even cheaper option to the CM28, as I brought this not on sale at full price for £67, which is incredibly cheap, especially considering you get a full metal version 3 gearbox, which is similar, pretty much the same to normal Cyma gearboxes. And although it is pretty much completely plastic, I've used it for 3, maybe 4 games, and the only thing I said that broke was the mag release, and that's because obviously the trigger guard's plastic, and so is the actual buttons, well the lever, and I think I was using it a bit too hard, and this bit here snapped. So I'd recommend changing the mag release and also changing the pistol grip for externals, but as it is, very good gun, excellent for the price, and I'd recommend you get it.